Real Peace, brought to you by Kwabi&thePeaceCampaign, is a podcast dedicated to discovering ways in which everyday people can learn about community, seek understanding of self and others, and gain tolerance on opinions they might not agree with. How do we live together? How do we learn to love each other? These questions and much, much more we will attempt to answer only on Real Peace. I'm Kwabi, your host, and I'm a peace campaigner, and behind the camera is our producer, Kevin Wolford, and without him, none of this would be possible. And today, we're going to be talking about something that's a little bit different. I don't know if you guys at home have heard about a podcast talking about strictly things that we want to embrace as far as life. So we framed it in this format. 10 things that you feel you should love about life. Is that right?
I think so. 10
things we should love about life. And so I want to bring it to the forefront, this statement. I feel that currently right now there's a lot of that's going on with the epidemic of suicide. And I think a lot of the problems that go on with that can be potentially solved with every person stepping back and taking a look at what small things in life that they cherish. I feel more so than not we overlook these things. So I got these two awesome guests to talk about the 10 things they love about life so we can create a dialogue about it. I got my first guest, my long time friend, Peter Q. Bean. What's up, Peter?
Hey, how you doing, man?
And I also have Ernie Ngzaya.
Yes, sir.
Who is a physics major for UW Bothell.
Almost there. Almost physicist. We'll say
Okay. And I brought them on the show because when I first met you, Ernie, honestly, I met you at the gym, and you were one of the most positive people at the gym. And
word.
Like, when I saw you, I was like, you're always upbeat and smiling. So I was like, okay, this guy's super positive. I got to connect with this guy. And then growing up with you, Peter, I mean, you always had a smile on your face. So I think that this topic would be great to just talk about and hash out with you guys.
Hell yeah. Well, thank you for having us.
No
I'm
problem.
honored to be here. Yeah, I mean, being in the gym, first off, usually I'm just like caffeinated up on pre-workout and stuff, so I'm like just ready to go. You know what I'm saying?
That's why you're so happy.
That's what I was thinking. I was like jacked on protein for a second.
Yeah. And then I always see you guys there, and I'm like, oh, yep,
it's
boys
a different kind
here.
of happiness.
Yep. Time to get some work done.
Yeah, I mean that's the place to do it. But 10 things that we should love and cherish about life. I guess I'll start since it's my podcast. No, I'm playing. I would say one thing small that I really cherish when I think about my life is honestly, it's kind of like what we're doing now. We're a group of friends talking, and I like the idea of like bringing up topics that people don't talk about and not thinking about time in a sense. We're just talking. And that's the only thing at that time that matters, like talking about whatever we want to talk about. Mm-hmm. And just having a group of friends, maybe it's like late at night, and just talking about stuff. And, I feel like that's something that's been done in the past, and I don't know if we're losing it now, but anytime you get with a group of friends and you're getting that zone, you start talking with each other, it seems as if time doesn't matter and you're really like engaging with people. I love that.
Mm-hmm. You're in a state of flow.
A state of flow.
You heard about that too? I just listened to Joe Rogan.
Yeah, my God.
Okay, we're excited about something. Trying to figure out what that is. Can you let me in on that inside joke?
You want to explain this? Or?
Oh no, man! I just got excited.
You were getting hype about it.
I was because I just watched it, so it was amazing.
Well, feel free to correct me if I'm wrong. But so state of flow is something that obviously I feel like everyone's been in. Okay. It's like when you go to do something. Say you're in the gym, you go to train, and you're feeling good. You're getting through all your routines, and next thing you know, you look at the clock. It's been like 2 hours, but it didn't feel like it's been 2 hours. You know what I'm saying? Like you went through it. So a state of flow is when you're doing a task where it's not so challenging that you feel discouraged, like you feel like, I can't do this, like I don't want to do this. Okay. But it's not so easy that you're bored, right? You're right in the zone where you're being challenged just enough, but it's not so challenging that you just.
That's like different from the idea of like you're doing something that you love so much that time flies by.
Yeah, exactly.
You're just like kind of on autopilot, kind of.
It's pretty much actually exactly.
Yeah, almost. you're just in the zone. Like
in the
you're
zone.
in the zone. Like, and then when you're like doing a podcast and the conversation is just flowing, like you're in the flow, like, you know.
So we're trying to get in the flow right now.
We're trying to get in the flow. We're trying to get a conversation that never ends.
I feel we in the flow right now.
Yep.
So okay, I just laid out one of my small treasures of life. Peter, what would you say?
Oh man, I actually had to look before I came here to think of
Got
10
to do
actual
some
things,
homework.
some 10 actual things that I love about life, and I was like, wow, I don't have 10 things off the top of my head. So that was kind of concerning. In the first place.
That is pretty concerning. We should check that.
Yeah, no, but then it comes back to the small things. I enjoy laughter. You know what I mean? Like, not beyond fellowship is when you can actually just sit down, and even a terrible situation when you can find the joy, just a little bit of humor out of it to make it like, it'll pass. Because I mean, relatively, most things are just. They happen in the moment, so you react. You're reactionary to the moment, and I think if you can sit back and kind of just reflect on it, like, oh well, it's kind of funny. Like, it sucks my house burnt down, but yeah. But if it did,
if you can laugh about your house burning down,
you can find some humor in your house.
You are the most positive person on earth.
On to the next house. On to the next house. No, that's a good point. That's a great point. I didn't know what I was about to say. Like for me, I had the same problem. Like you mentioned, like, all right, so the topic's gonna be like 10 things you love about life, or you should love about life.
Yeah.
And it took me a second to like think about it too, and I was like, damn, like what am I? I can't say Fortnite. Like, it's too corny, but I can't.
It brings me so much joy.
Yeah, I love food. Nah, I don't do that. But like, I think this is a great topic too, because like as a viewer, like you should ask yourself too, like, what are some like top 10 things that I'm grateful for.
Come on, Ernie. That's exactly.
Be interactive, you know?
Yeah. What are 10 things to people at home? What are 10 things that you love about life? I feel so. You wake up in the morning, right? You're starting your day. Why? If your answer is negative or something, like if it's like money, like paper chase, strictly that, or if it's like I don't know, if it's like that, I would say for people, they need to question, maybe their morals, or like what's driving them, I mean, I feel like at the end of the day, if it's not something like passion or love related, like, but I don't know, not to cut you off.
I don't know if like saying that like you wake up and you like want to like make money, like I don't know if that's necessarily a negative thing, like you wake up and like you want to put in work. Okay. Like you go and like like I think that's dedication, and that's good. That was one of the things that I was gonna say. Was one thing I think people should love about life is dedication, like being disciplined. I heard this quote that said like discipline is freedom. That if you learn to like be disciplined about all the small tasks like you gotta do, like I gotta do the laundry, I gotta do this, I gotta do these chores and all this and blah blah blah. And like you keep putting it off, and you're like wasting 5 minutes here, wasting 10 minutes there, like dicking around. Like
you get out of line.
You're not gonna get anything done. But if you're disciplined, and I think people have this like kind of backwards. They think like, oh, you gotta be disciplined. Like,
and then it
I'm not gonna be able to do anything I want to do. Like, no, that's the point of being disciplined, so that you make time to do the things you actually want to do. So you wake up in the morning. You get to work, you know what I'm saying? Like, and when I say get to work, not like literally get into work, but like just not like you wake up, check your phone. No, like none of that. You wake up, go to the bathroom, make yourself food, exercise, do what you gotta do, and like like be disciplined.
I thought it would take my whole life to find the key master. You are the key master. Go like key, bro.
Yeah, and you like cut out all the little like processes. Like okay, so like. I mean, and like I'm not gonna say I'm the most disciplined person ever. Like, I waste time, but I realize after like being a little bit disciplined, like you waste so much time. Like from one activity transitioning from like a homework assignment to like maybe like cleaning my room. I'll just be like on the phone, and then like next thing I know, I'm like, that was half an hour. Like that was an hour I just wasted.
So you're like, Ernie, I need to get on the ball.
Exactly, and like being disciplined, you get so much more free time to actually go make a difference, maybe volunteer, start a company, start a nonprofit, make podcasts. Like, so I think people should start loving being disciplined.
I think dude, that's spot on, man. I think that's wonderful. It's something that people view as being so restrictive and negative, but actually it allows you to be free.
Like I was visiting my aunt last year in Houston, and their schedule is so different than my schedule. Like I'll wake up at like 10, 11, you know, like when I'm going to school and stuff. But they'll wake up at like 5 in the morning, and just like start their day. And when I was visiting, they would start. They would wake up at 8 and they would like
crowing. And you're just,
my aunt would talk, like she sat me down, she's like, listen, like we usually wake up at 5, and you wake up at like 10, 11, like,
and be like,
can you start waking up at like 8, like we're trying to start the day? And I'm like, I can do that, And so they had their like routines all played out, like wake up 5, do this, get this done, go to work, and like when I was on that schedule, I would realize like by noon I had all the things that I had to get done. And I was just like, I have nothing else.
But then you got to go to sleep at like 8 to perform in the morning.
Yeah. For sure. But you have like a fulfilling day though. You know what I'm saying? You go to bed like with feeling accomplished.
That's that farm work.
Yeah. And you appreciate rest so much more. Like you
like you earned it because
you feel like you earned it. You earned that rest. Like
your bones kind of hurt.
Yeah, exactly.
No, I feel that hard work and dedication. I would say I cherish that as well. So for my number 2 of things I love about life, and these aren't in any particular order. I'm just saying, but I do like. See, this is gonna make me sound, but I like women, man. I like women, but not just, you know. Of course, you have the physical side, but
It's like 2018. Is that okay to talk about?
So it's this kind of podcast.
Okay, I like women. There's so much that they can offer, and I feel oftentimes they're shut out as far as like their dialogue, and I think we can benefit so much from their state of mind and what they can offer, you know, in all sorts of facets of life. And I feel as if we don't understand that, then it's a tragedy towards, you know, mankind and us progressing.
Who's shutting women's voices out though?
Yeah,
I think they're well heard. You know,
but we need to listen more. So I mean, there's been years and years of women not being listened to. But that's a whole different conversation. Yeah, that is a whole nother conversation.
I would just say just like diversity in general. You know what I'm saying? Like, another quote that I heard was like, the cure to cancer could be locked away in some kid who's homeless. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
So, and like it's just diversity,
inclusion,
making like everything open to everyone.
Exactly, because you think about, I mean, with the lack of inclusion or inclusive institutions, right? We miss out on. For example, you could have the person who has the cure for cancer could be in like a remote place in Kenya where they don't have education. In order for him to formulate his ideas and be able to write it down, like with more extractive institutions, we miss out on people like that.
So denying people inclusion is basically denying yourself, in a sense. You know what I mean?
Think about how many people in third world countries that they could benefit humanity, but because they don't have the resources, we miss out.
Yeah, we're missing out as a person, you know, because their ideas aren't being heard or they don't have the resources.
I thought this was 10 things we love about life.
That's wild.
I tell you what, love diversity. I'll say that. Yeah, we'll continue with the whole diversity thing. I think. So another example was there's this video game that scientists just invented to see how proteins fold, and they made it like publicly available to the entire world. And the best protein folder, like this is really complex, like biology stuff. Like scientists are having problems figuring out how these things fold, and like some woman like in Switzerland or the Netherlands, like her job was like worked at a grocery store or something. And she had like the best record for like folding these proteins and like understanding how, like, you know what I'm saying. So it's like anything it could be locked away.
See, we weren't listening to her. We had to listen, and then we unlocked the key.
Yeah,
it's the internet, man.
Yeah. Well, Peter.
Yeah, what's going on?
Number 2 for what you love about life.
Number 2, 3, 4. Like what did you originally say?
We're almost like 6 almost. I feel like.
Oh yeah. Okay. Wait. Okay. So I said I love hanging out with folks, having really good, intimate conversations.
Deep conversations.
And I also said women. Just women in general.
Slash diversity. I'll say slash diversity.
Slash diversity.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so we got 2. And you, what was your first one?
Laughter. Yeah,
Laughter.
We didn't really get on that one so much, but it's interesting because when you are so pulled apart from someone you think is so different from you, and you guys can laugh together, you're friends.
You guys are instant friends. The joke can ease the tension in any room almost.
Yeah, it's a universal language. Just like seeing someone laugh and like smile, like you're instantly.
It's contagious.
Yeah.
Like when he be laughing, I'll be like, "What?"
Yeah, no, I always laugh though. You gotta laugh, man.
So we got 4.
4, right? I said love. Was it discipline? Yep.
Discipline.
Okay.
Learn to discipline yourself.
I think
Okay.
growth goes into discipline though, because when you're
when
you're disciplined and you're finding things about yourself, you know what I mean? Like when you're going through that path and you're like, oh well, I do have more potential than I had before because I wasn't utilizing my time very effectively. So then you start realizing there's other things you might find different interest, or you might just like want to fill the empty time with anything.
Gotcha.
So I think just sitting back and realizing that you have room to grow, and as you get older, you always like finding new things out. And I think with the age of information that is now, there's so much more avenues, the things you didn't even think about before that you're actually considering doing. You know what I mean? Like whether it be like programming or traveling the world or seeing different different people's point of views. Like, and I necessarily might not agree with everybody, but if you can sit down and come across a common goal or a common topic, then you're
Wow.
And I think like as you grow, like, and you learn like different skills and stuff, you kind of understand like what you're capable of, right? Like, oh, like I can actually do this. Like I actually do have the time to start this and volunteer and like do all this. So like, it like definitely plays a.
What holds people back from growth? Is it just fear from the unknown, or?
I think it could be fear. I think it was self-awareness too. You know what I mean? Like, are you realizing there's room to grow, or are you still stuck in your own box, like thinking you are who you are, and not realizing you have more potential than what you are? You know what I mean? Like when you say women aren't having their voices heard, so maybe they don't feel like they can contribute.
Ooh, so it's like a crutch.
Yeah, they're quiet.
In a sense.
Yeah.
But then there's also like wanting to get their equal rights and stuff. But I feel you. I feel you though. So we got 5, 6. I guess I'll put another one on the list. The freedom just to be and to do what you want to do. I mean, granted, you can't do everything you want to do. You'll get arrested. But just the freedom to be and to go as you must or as you please, I love that about life. There are people around the world who can't do those things, whether they're incarcerated or, whether they're in a nation that doesn't, supply them the needs of life or freedom. I feel as if I have that. And I try to cherish it every day. It's one thing I love. And for those who don't have that, I feel like, I don't want to get into like, jail or whatnot under the penal system, but for those who are in countries that aren't supplying them the needs of life, I feel like they're not giving them humanity. Like, I can't imagine. I'm sure that it has to play into the psyche of a person who doesn't have the freedom to just be who they are.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, when you think about it, if you don't have freedom, you know what I mean? Like as me not having any kids, I have the freedom to get up and go and explore. Explore anytime I want. You know what I mean? Like I can go anywhere almost at any time in the drop of a dime without having to worry about responsibilities that I'm leaving behind. So my world is pretty much open to anything I want to do. But somebody that doesn't have that opportunity, they might feel stuck. So that's when you have parents that are like, they have kids, but then they end up not necessarily having a strained relationship with their child because they feel like they're preventing them from doing something.
The kids are the crutch.
Yeah, the kids are their crutch. Like, I can't go anywhere because of you. You know what I'm saying? So you miss out on that freedom, even if it is self-caused. So you don't have to be in prison and not have your freedom. You know what I mean?
That's true.
Just having a responsibility sometimes stop people from exploring everything. I think that's why Mark Zuckerberg and them, they want to give out the social currency, just $1,000 a month.
I don't know anything about that.
Oh, you've never heard of it. So they basically want to give out free money to everybody. Free money to everybody so you can be more entrepreneurial spirit. So you can actually go try and live your dreams without having to worry about failing financially, because you have a window and a gap for failure.
It like kind of promotes people to like try.
Yeah, that's what he said. He was able to try new things because he had room to fail. So a lot of people don't have room to fail. They don't have the room to fail to be successful. And in order to be successful, you have to fail.
You're right, multiple times.
You have to fail multiple times.
And that's where money comes in. No, I'm playing on it.
But the chase. That's why people love the chase. You're gonna lose money by chasing it, and it's something you want. If you want something bad enough, you're gonna go get it. So every morning when you're waking up and you're thinking about the dollar, you're obviously going to use that dollar for something, so you're utilizing it for something, so it's beneficial to you. You might not necessarily just consider the money, you're considering what the money can do for you and the people around you.
So it's not the love of
the
money.
It's the love of the things the money can do for you. It can provide freedom.
Hopefully that's the goal, you know.
Yeah. When you see people going to Miami, the lady who got bit by the shark,
I didn't.
She got bit by a shark in the water. She was on a whole yacht though, so she got bit on the finger, and she's still on vacation on a yacht. Most people won't ever have a chance to get bit by a shark.
Right. Mm-hmm. Jeez.
Whether they want to or not.
Some people just want to go on vacation.
Do you want to cry in a Rolls Royce or do you want to cry in the bus?
Oh my God. All right, so we got, what's that?
Opportunities. I think like just loving like the opportunities life brings.
Opportunities.
You know? Yeah. I feel like all of these really go hand in hand, you know, like like you discipline and you get more opportunities, you get more time to do stuff, and like just being alive and like knowing certain people, like having deep conversation with people, it can bring out like just opportunities and things you can do and stuff like that. So
I think we're just so united in our minds. Like we all decided to wear black today. We're all go-getters.
Yeah. Visionaries.
Visionaries. Men in black.
That's how I like to think about it. Visionaries.
Visionaries. Okay.
Renaissance, modern day Renaissance.
Well, you know, there's lots of people with visions and goals, and they have the creative process in their mind to construct it in their mind, but actually getting those ideas in action takes discipline, takes all the things that we're talking about. And I don't know. I feel as if fear is one of the main things that prevents people from going towards it. Fear and not having
the freedom,
no. Just not having the resilience to be able to withstand hardship, to fail and keep on going, to fail and keep on going.
Yeah. I think you have to love the moment though. The moments you get in life, you know what I mean? Because they're so small. And when we're talking about things you love and you're talking about suicide, people are sometimes they get stuck in those moments, like that individual moment or the crisis that they might be going through at the time. So they're fully embracing that moment, and they're not thinking of like the bigger picture sometimes. Like this is just one moment in my life. So this is just a part of my story that I get to tell later on down the road. It's not the end all be all. Like you embrace that moment for what it is. Like whether it's good or bad, you can take something from that moment and move on, because moments they're just pieces of time.
Momentary.
Yeah, they're momentary. They're just pieces of time. You know what I mean? Like this isn't gonna forever define you.
Yeah.
Because you got to think about Judge Joe. What is it, Judge Mathis or Judge Joe Brown? He's like, I used to be a crackhead. He's a whole judge on TV now.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
At the moment, if he thought he was forever gonna be a crackhead, he would never.
This is true, but like a lot of these people who are in the limelight that have committed suicide are very successful people. Robin Williams, you know, I mean. Yeah, Mr. Bourdain, like, and I don't know. I wonder what was going on there. Were they feeling trapped, you know, in that moment that they couldn't see out of it?
I think you have to be, because when we're sitting back and we're thinking about Anthony Bourdain, we're like, why would you? Like nobody can fathom it. You know, anytime somebody commits suicide, not just him, but anytime somebody commits suicide, like, why would you? Like, no matter what you were going through, why didn't you just like? It's easy to say when you're not in the moment of what he's going through. You know what I mean? Like, so why, if I'm Anthony Bourdain, why would you're eating around the world? You probably have a nice bank account. Your friends are saying wonderful things about you. So what is going on in the moment? What kept you stuck in the moment and you weren't able to get out of that moment?
I really feel like a lot of, like, though his life was so extravagant, I feel as if, you know, for those who have extravagant lives, really focusing on the little joys is just so crucial, man. Where are we? Like 8, 7?
At this point, I don't think it matters. We're in the flow. We were in flow until
the flow. And then I brought it up. It was okay. The conductor got to conduct, man. Got to conduct. No. Does anyone have another thing to add to this?
Yeah, I mean, I think like talking about suicide. I mean, like first off, like right off the bat, I can't say I'll ever understand like why someone would do that. You know what I'm saying? Like how you were saying, like you're not in the moment. You never really know like what that person's experiencing or what they're going through. You know, and I think like if you ever have to deal with someone like that, you can't tell people like, oh, like I understand what you're saying. Like no, like you don't understand what they're going through. Gotcha. That's why they do those things that they do. But I think you just gotta like make sure that they understand you're there for them. You know what I'm saying? Because I think the big thing is being alone. Like they just like you talking about Anthony Bourdain, huge fan by the way. Like just very sad that it happened. But like he probably felt very alone. That like he felt like he had that status almost. I mean, like I said again, I can't speak for him, but like he got to travel around the world. He had a lot of money. Had all his friends say good things about him, but like he's always on the road, and like you know what I'm saying, like he probably felt very alone. And I think a lot of people that are depressed or suicidal, I think they're in a place where they just feel like they're alone.
Gotcha. So maybe maybe the eighth thing on the list that we can add is just connectivity with people.
Yeah, I think being able to.
I think you lose that, because I mean, there is a study saying that our generation is a lonely generation just because you're in the house all the time with the internet, and you don't have to necessarily reach out and go next door to talk to your neighbor.
Yeah.
I can call Uber Eats every day and never have to leave my house. You know what I mean? And I can have my groceries delivered by Safeway, so I don't have to leave for bath soap or anything. I can literally just live in my house, mail my rent off to my landlord. I don't have to interact with anybody. Wow. If you don't have a cell phone, I mean, even the cell phone, you don't have to use it for cell phone what we would use a phone for. You can search whatever you want. You can be everywhere and nowhere at the same time.
Yeah, if you look at like the rates of kids being depressed and suicide, it goes hand in hand with the popularity of social media and like how accessible phones are. Like like if you're talking to someone and they have their phone out, like how do you feel?
I feel like they're cheating my conversation.
Exactly.
My time.
You feel
my
like you're not important to them. You know what I'm saying? Like and like even I have I have this problem too. Like if I don't have my phone in my pocket, I'll get a little bit of anxiety.
Like
oh fuck.
If someone has it, or someone like you give someone your phone, like they're tapping into my inner secrets.
Yeah. And like so the one thing about how do you discover if someone's an alcoholic? Well, if that person wakes up in the morning and just craves a drink, you're probably an alcoholic. You know what I'm saying? You probably
it's your birthday, right?
But like you wake up and you have to check your phone right away.
It's an addiction.
You're probably addicted to your phone.
The world's at the tip of your fingers when you have your phone, though. So it's almost so hard to call somebody an addict. They're addicted to information because everything is happening. You can literally find out anything you want to know. Tip of your fingers. So that's hard to put down that type of power. Like
that's just true.
I have everything at the tip of my fingers right now. I can control I control your life.
It sounds like we're kind of saying the ninth thing we love about life is our phone. But okay, so I'm gonna conduct a little bit because it was like a couple minutes left. What's something we can all agree right now we all love about life that we feel that most people love about life and can sort of hold on to when they're feeling down and out?
Hands down, Beyonce.
Wow. Okay. Peter Keeping. Okay. Well, besides Beyonce,
Queen Bey.
I can't argue that. I can't argue.
Listen to some Lemonade. You can listen to so many tracks and get over anything you're going through. And then just the pictures she's putting out now. Oh my gosh.
Well, we're gonna keep it G for the kids. But on the real, what do you guys think?
For me, I would say just knowing that it'll pass. Like just knowing that it's gonna continue. Like this moment is gonna pass. If you're in a bad setting, like if you're missing your phone and you're having an anxiety attack, like it's gonna pass. Like this bad 5 minutes is gonna pass, and like just look forward to like. Look forward to a positive moment. You know what I'm saying?
Because it's coming.
Yeah, like you're not gonna be in this bad moment forever and ever. I mean, and maybe if you are, maybe like seek some professional help.
Okay. I agree to the notion that making sure that you focus that everything is temporary can help, and it's a great thing about life.
I think that's the biggest. That's life in a nutshell. Everything is temporary. You know what I mean? Like any 1 minute can change your whole life. You know what I mean? Like I said, my brother is incarcerated. You know what I mean? So that night changed his whole life. Like that, whatever you did in those couple hours, whatever you did in those couple minutes, your life has forever been changed. Now you have to spend 30 years doing something, paying for something you did for a couple hours or a couple minutes. So. Moments can change your whole life. So it's just, like I said, moments are either good or bad. I mean, negative or good. So I think focusing on that moments are just pieces of time, and that at any second your life can change. Like you can win the lottery.
That's true.
By chance. You know what I mean?
So essentially, there's always hope.
Jeremy was the Jeremy Meeks guy, the model dude, the felon guy. His whole life changed because of a picture, a mugshot.
He got memed. And
now
he's famous.
He's getting married. He's having a baby by a billionaire. Like. It's an instant flip.
Jeez, and on that note, we're gonna end the podcast. I want to thank both you guys for coming on the show. It's been amazing.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Thanks for having
folks
us.
at home, please subscribe, comment, share. We want to hear all your guys' thoughts and ideas about this podcast. You help to mold the show and make it better. I'm Kwabi, and I'm signing off for Real Peace. Tune in next time. Thank you.